Man, that's all we get. This is our water.
Huh?
This is ministry water. What's up, people?
We're here.
Man, I'm trying to figure out how that old clip got in there. I'm trying to figure that out. There was an old clip in there, and I don't know where the new clip went at. I don't know. I gotta get her to look at that again.
Got a hand.
And anytime you eat those Cheetos, you need to be brushing your teeth.
Got a hand in there.
Who's there in that background talking?
Charlie.
Okay, that was Uncle
My
Sean.
apologies. Yeah, that was on my end, y'all.
Got a
Go
hand
ahead,
in
Charlie.
there.
Hello, boys and ladies, wherever you at. Come on in. In viewing audience, it's always a pleasure to be here with you on Wednesday night. Thank you for being with us. I want you to do us a favor. I want you to share, because information is so powerful. And remember my motto, the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it opens. Keep what you need and let the rest go. Thank you. Again, hello, boys. You got some girls looking.
Yeah.
Well, some girls looking. Right now, the girls in here. Tiffany is hiding under her desk at City Council. and Sandra McKeithen is probably finding some food to eat before she come on air. So I have nothing else to say. But hello, boys, which I love to say that.
Okay.
Sean, you like hello, boys?
Yeah, we got hello, boys.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on, Uncle Sean? You where you at? You in South Carolina or you in Georgia?
No, I'm back in Georgia now. Back in Georgia, trying to do my thing. Still got a little hurdle to go past, but I'm there. I'm back.
Well, we want to say good evening to some of the people who have commented already. Hello. I ain't gonna tell them your stage name. Your Tawana.
Not the stage name.
Tawana wearing that hat, and guess what? Some people try to wear hats and wear them, but Tawana wearing the heck out of that hat she got on. She looking good. I love that hat you got on. I love it.
You think you can wear that hat just like she wearing it?
I'll be honest with you. No, because she wearing that hat. That hat ain't wearing her. She wearing that hat.
Okay.
So, Mr. Robert, how are you tonight?
I'm here.
I know you've been campaigning over the weekend. Somebody pulled my shirt tail and say, "Is he air? He's everywhere."
Everywhere.
Joke of the night.
Air, he ain't everywhere. I said, I'm Charlie Brown. I'm everywhere. They said, he is too. Someone called me. I'm serious. And got you confused with Robert Bryant
from Garden City.
Bob Bryant say, "Oh, that's his son running." I say, "No, that's not his son."
Well, if it gives him a vote, it is.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you can't lie. I had to tell him your daddy was my scoutmaster and your mama was my 4th grade teacher. So they went, you got to be. They use another word.
Another word. You wouldn't use that word, would you, Charlie?
No, I say you got to be shocking me. That's what the word I use.
I know you wouldn't use cuss words.
Yes, I do.
He used too many darn cuss words. That's his problem. I do. Yeah, y'all share.
The ladies tonight? Did you contact the ladies tonight for the show? Because I want them to know we got equal opportunity here.
Well, I don't know where Tiffany and Sandra are.
Well, it's your job with that ugly plaid jacket. That jacket you got on.
Let's see what the women think this jacket is
no,
ugly.
If I had to adjust my TV set, that's what I'll use. It got every color under the rainbow in it.
Well, anyway, Bernard was out making videos today.
Okay, cool.
See that?
He out in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Talking about Robert's
this
campaign.
Wonderful city.
So he out there campaigning for Robert, telling Robert this how you got to go do it. So
where's Bernard? Bernard Brown, would you please come on so I can see that wonderful beard you got?
To want to say thank you, Charlie. He want to borrow.
You're quite welcome.
Know where you got that hat from? Huh? Don't you?
Yeah.
Don't worry about where she got the hat from, but she's quite welcome. I got to call it the way I see it, But I want Bernard to come on the air. Is he hiding? Is he hiding in the car?
Working.
I don't know. He had a lot to say today. You called and told me he had a lot. The whole
you speak up and he shut up.
I read some of them emails.
There you go.
There you go, Mr. Wonderful. Hey. How are you?
It's been working.
I've been out of pocket, Bernard, all day, but when I caught up with some of the email, my phone almost dropped on the floor, man. It was so hot, it burned my hand.
The next mayor, Savannah.
Bernard, can you hear,
going, man?
Bernard, can you hear?
He can't hear.
Yeah, he can't hear.
You can't hear. But I know he would have said something about that.
Right.
Can you hear now? I guess you can't hear.
Bernard.
Testing 1, 2, 3, Bernard.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Testing 1, 2, 3, Bernard.
Go out and come back in.
Mm-hmm. I'll change your microphone setting.
Good. They said I could have his time and talk while
Oh,
he's
Lord.
trying to
Well,
come
you
back.
got the subject. You got topic of discussion anyway. Well, let's start on the topic of discussion so we can get this show rolling. We got a full lineup. We got this Dorsey. That's what it's called, Robert. It's a book.
A whole chapter.
It's a book, and our topic today is this piece of literature that is for anybody to see that needs to understand what we're going to be talking about today. You hear us now, Bernard?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I can hear y'all.
Okay.
Listen,
They
can
were
I
talking
tell
about
you
it.
what I was saying to him, Bernard? I've been out of pocket most of the day. I had to go and handle some medical stuff, so I didn't have my phone with me. But guess what I discovered? When I got my phone, I had a whole pile of texts. The phone was so hot, I had to drop it a couple of times. I mean, it was beating up people left and right and say, come on, if you're going to get in this fight, you better stand up and ball your fists up. If not, you're going to get all beat up. And guess what? And don't sit on the fence either. Get off the damn fence.
That's it.
He was hot today, wasn't he?
Hey, man. Well, RG left. What was he'll pop in and pop out, you know, and I ain't trying to get on nobody, but that's the problem I have. I mean, if you coming on the show, right, and we live and we around the world, last thing we need people coming popping in and out like Pop Goes the Weasel. You know, you in or out, man. Damn.
Get it, Bernard.
Man, we done been putting up with a lot of stuff for what, about 2 or 3 years? It's time to ante up, man.
We gotta put him in the studio so he can just be still in it. He like to broadcast from the studio.
I think you guys are absolutely unfair to him. That man is on Rutland, so he can't help himself. He'll be moving around because that's just the way it is.
Okay.
Okay, what's the first subject?
It was topic of discussion. I believe it was we got one topic. I think today was
that Fox News Network guy.
That's what we talking
Fox
about.
News.
All right,
Fox.
and the small little what they call it, picnic that they were having in front of the Capitol on the 6th.
Yeah, that what Tucker said it was peaceful.
A big old cookout, huh?
Yeah, it's just a big old cookout.
Oh, okay, all right.
He said they were orderly.
Yeah, orderly, just looking through, you know.
He is discrediting Fox every time he opened his mouth with some stupidity like that.
Exactly.
It shows that everybody saw it, the world saw it, and he's going to put only the good little parts when they first went in and they were going through without any trouble. All these people acted up. They made 1,000 arrests so far. Number 1,000 was yesterday. 1,000 arrests in that, and they said they got 1,000 more coming. So if you were there, just go ahead and get all your fans.
Get your items together.
They came in and got Dominique Box with his stupid ass. Got him too. You know, so
going down for the long ride, boss.
Capitol ain't gonna film live.
I got in a major discussion. I'm serious with an individual, live in Savannah. Major discussion, and the discussion was, Charlie, you know, it was a very peaceful, quiet stroll through the Capitol. Had a few incidents, but they blowed it up and kept showing the same stuff over and over. And I say to them, come on, man, did you look at all those people hanging from the side of the building trying to get in, cracking windows? He say the network fabricate that. And this guy believe it. And he told me, my wife can verify this, he's saying, I look at the wrong news. He said, I need to look at Fox News because Fox deliver the truth.
Wow.
He stated that to me.
Ain't
Him
gonna
and
get
I
me,
not
Rob.
friends anymore.
Robert
Man.
Bernard gonna get on your butt.
Man, I don't know, man. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'm a lightning bolt. I'm a lightning bolt, man. I'm just getting tired of a lot of BS, and you either on or off. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I'm tired of all this sugarcoating, a bunch of BS. Folks who you think, they'll say one thing behind closed door, and then when they get in public, they'll change their tune. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tired. I mean, all this in Savannah, and people who I thought was like on one side, they just jump and ship, and they're trying to think they're on that ship and try to play both sides, which is a bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired of it. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say what I got to say because I'm a grown damn man. And who don't like it, I really don't care. I really don't care.
That's right.
You either pick a side and stop trying to play two sides to get along with everybody. Hey, I had enough, and I'm gonna call them out. If I call them out tonight, so be it. Google me.
Was it 1099?
I'm a 1099, damn it.
I don't know.
All right, so Tucker Carlson was our first in Fox News, and if y'all got any more to say about it, I mean, we're just discussing it lightly. Tucker came out with his piece after he got the videos, and he went and found everything that was before they started acting a fool, and he put on. He went and got the ones who didn't do anything and put on. It's 1,000 arrests, Tucker.
Except
what
the
the
one-
hell are you looking at?
Excuse me, Julie. Except the one guy with the horns and stuff. He came back later on and sit at the desk with the horns and stuff on.
But
I
Nancy,
can't think of
Nancy
his name.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
was
Nancy
him
guy. That's
at
the other
first. That's how he knew where to go at it, because they did let him in at first to look around. So when they merged and all of them went in and did what they had to do, he knew he had already staked out his particular area he wanted to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But he only showed about 2 to 3 minutes of footage, and they had over countless amount.
well, y'all share. We're gonna get into the case against Van Johnson real shortly. If anybody got anything else left on Tucker Carlson, he's a joke. The network is a joke. It's not a news media at all. It seems like it's more Comedy Central than anything, because we are 10 times more informative than Fox News. 10 times more.
It's like a gossip newspaper, like you used to the Star that they used to sell on the magazine rack.
You been your elbow yet?
Hey,
You froze? You like Jamal? You froze?
Hey, like I told y'all last week, hey, I don't watch anything with Fox. If Fox come on, I change the station, man. I ain't got time for that nonsense.
Fox is the National Enquirer on steroids.
Yeah. And that's what they need to claim. They need to claim that so nobody would think that they're trying to be the news. Everybody know they're not the news, except for these radical fools who look at it. My thing is McDonald's and Zaxby's and all these restaurants and food service places when you go in them, they got Fox on. Do they think that are they giving us comedy, or were they thinking that they're giving us the news? Go in any of these little restaurants and they got Fox on as their main.
I think that's manager preference, what channel is on the television. And if you look back and see who's in control of that remote, it's probably somebody that's got a Trump bumper sticker also.
Yeah.
You know, I see that at the VA also. It's like if you go in certain areas, you might see Fox on the news, and other areas you see just regular game shows or whatever. You might see Judge Judy, but yeah.
I saw that today. I was at the VA in Charleston, and a couple of the stations in the area where I was at, it was on Fox News. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand. I be wanting to watch some real news, and they got me watching this comedy show.
Yeah.
Because that's all Fox is a comedy show.
But I will watch an hour of Fox with the other stuff. Like I watch an hour ABC, I watch an hour CBS, and I watch about an hour Fox. That way I can get like the enemy view, the real view, and the censored view, you know.
Yeah. I don't watch none of it, you know.
So Bernard, you watch no Fox at all. You said you cut it off or turn the station.
I don't watch no Fox.
The only thing you probably watch is football on Fox, because they do have football.
Now I don't watch Fox. I don't watch nothing on Fox. I'm telling you, I don't. I don't really watch TV or nothing like that. You know what? I get most of my information for Shorty. She tell me most of the stuff, and I said, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that happened. I don't have time to listen to all that nonsense. Because it's more important things in this world and in Savannah, Georgia, to be watching all that dumb stuff. I ain't got time for all that, you know.
I mean, the next train derailment could be by you, bruh. You got to know about hey, the infrastructure is going down, and you know, like
if it ain't coming, if it ain't coming to if it ain't come close to my home, I started to get my address, but I caught myself. If it ain't close there, I don't care. And trust me, Sean, I ain't buying no railroad tracks either.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't like buying taking a train to New York. Oh, I'm sorry.
You know, I learned a new word from you last week. I ain't gonna repeat it. All I'm gonna say, the word had a P in the front of it.
Charlie got a new word that he's been using all day long.
Oh, please, I ain't used that word before.
Yeah, you have.
But Bernard told me a word last week.
She don't watch Fox either, Brown.
She's with you, Bernard. She don't watch Fox News either. I'm not gonna lie. I have to watch Fox News, not news,
Monica.
but football. I have to watch the football because it's on Fox.
Yeah.
That's all, but not their news.
Monica says she got a question. You can ask that question. We're about to get into our discussion in a minute. And our topic today is
yes.
Monica say Fox is a joke.
Yes, it is a joke.
Fannie Lou.
There she go.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Sonya, how you doing?
Hello. How are you?
Good.
Listen,
Okay.
I already said the key word. Lady, you wasn't here to get it. Now you got on red tonight, and that puppy gonna draw blood tonight with that red on. So try to stay calm when you put the blood out there.
Happy Women's Day.
See what you started, Bernard,
one is, right?
with Ivan said.
Yeah, I know. Hey, boy, y'all see I seen Mr. Ivan this past weekend. He looked like, I told him, boy, you look like you've been listening for weights, boy. He looks strong and something. Hey,
boy, you crazy.
Boy, he looked beefed up, y'all. I mean, he looked strong. I said, boy. Boy, he was at the gym, Planet Fitness.
Ivan Jordan was at the gym.
That's right. Our
That's
clothes
right.
are nicely pressed. I'm glad you said that, Dre. 'Cause I got
That's right.
something for you. I'm glad you said that. I got to make a note.
That's right.
So Natalie can come by and get that for me.
Hey, Jew.
Appreciate it, Dre.
Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Jew.
Yo,
Dre wanted us to give him a plug. This shirt I got on come from the best laundry, and this is a free one, my friend, but it's the truth. The best laundry in Garden City.
in Chatham County.
Price Cleaners. That's where this shirt was done at, and Julia's clothes as well. And you know where the farmers market at? Off of Highway 80?
Yeah, I do.
Right there. You take that cut. If you're going south, it's on the right. Great laundry. Take your clothes. Trey, that's a PSA, a public service announcement for you, my friend, for doing a wonderful job. Now, I want you to clean one of my shirts for absolutely free now. No, I don't. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great laundry over there. We hope that we can get them to come to Port Wentworth and expand into Savannah also. They do
You
a
told
great
me
job.
thinking about another location, Julius.
Yeah, they need to
Yeah.
franchise it. You want to
Yeah,
franchise
this
it? let
shirt
us
look
know.
good, don't it? Oh, that's right. You're right, my friend. You're quite welcome, Dre.
Very cool. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get into the case against Van Johnson. Everybody should have their
Now we got to talk about this Negro.
subject
Listen,
tonight.
We got to have the Van show.
That's the
I
news.
don't want to talk
It's called
about
the
this.
news. It's called the
lady
news.
listen,
today?
people,
Okay.
all of you in the audience, get some Pepto-Bismol. You might need it. My stomach might get a little upset, but the truth will set you free, okay? Thank you.
The case against Van Johnson. We have a point-by-point breakdown of that we received from somebody who wrote this that is a scholar in the field. He's not being sued. He's being pursued.
I like that. That's a good
He's
one.
not being sued. So not that I know of. But we have to get Mr. Brown, you can give us a preview as to what we're going to be looking at as we cover these points and these talking points that you have here. It should be on a flyer at everybody's door in Savannah after a while, because
Right,
this is what it's going to take to really inform the people.
I think one of the things, the strong thing is that the question is, what have you done, Van Johnson? Now, I want to be as positive as I possibly can. Van Johnson did a very good job on handling the situation on COVID-19, trying to keep us safe in Savannah. He relayed the message very well. He went against the governor of the state, but Van stood up for that, and I applaud him for doing that. But the question is, Van have not stand up for the Black community in this city. We have suffered under his administration, and the information that we share is research. And I'm saying he's not responsible, but Van is the keynote speaker. So it's Van who speaks for city council. And Van have not speak up, and some of this stuff we'll be talking tonight and trying to dissect and let you know. We're not saying vote for that person or that person, but we want to give you choice when you do get ready to vote. Why you voting for someone has not been there for you. That's what I'm concerned about. And that's what this is about. We're going to discuss some stuff. I think Miss McKeithen is going to do the reading, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, Sandra?
I guess since you just voted.
No, I read, Julie just in Texas, and the text was, you was the one, to my knowledge, because I'd have my phone most of the day. I didn't get into this afternoon, and Bernard had it so hot when I was reading it, I mustn't drop it on the floorboard.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. Sandra, I don't know what Sandra might not even have her.
I have it open.
Okay.
I had it open. I was hoping that I'd miss it by the time I got here.
Oh, okay.
Let's be good at it now.
Go ahead and start. And Mr. Brown is the authority on this. It was written and researched by Mr. Brown, and a lot of people got it. A lot of people are passing it around the whole city. So it needs to be explained, and we're going to touch these topics for the next hour and 40 minutes or so that we need to get this done. So let's get with it.
Okay. So as a segue into this, the Black community has suffered. You have been in position of power for almost 20 years. Now you are talking term limits for aldermen, and Curtis Purdy is backing this movement. All the ground that Blacks have made over the past 40 years, you are handing it back over. You have backdoored your way into changing the city charter. So we first have the change of rules of city council. That was the first thing that he did. No council in Savannah has ever required a majority to put an item for consideration on the agenda. This does not exist anywhere in the United States. Van used the power of 5 votes to close out Bernetta, Alicia, and Keisha. And you guys know that they're the at-large post 1, post 2, and the 1st district city representative. This is the foundation of the dysfunction of the city council. The voters need to know this. It is not good for the city of Savannah.
We need to stop and discuss this now.
Yeah, we need to stop and discuss that. Right. That was the first thing. You're on mute, Julius.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to discuss each one of them. We got the agenda and executive session in this this part. So we're starting the agenda first. You only give them a summary, Mr. Brown, so then we can all give our opinion.
The question that she read a few minutes ago, what have you done, Van Johnson? The Black community, I've been around over 40 years fighting for rights of Savannah to share into City Hall. And I'm saying it was not talking about term limit. Van, for instance, is now working on 20-something years of being on city council, of being involved. And now all of a sudden, he are saying, along with Curtis Purdy, who have running for the first time, to my knowledge, is the foremost authority on saying that we need term limit. Now, we control 56% of the population, and now all of a sudden, we can't stay in there past a certain amount of time. But yet it was good enough for Van, and he's still there. Curtis Purdy to give us a lesson in term, and he never ran for anything. He was too busy trying to get married to whoever. And I really mean that.
Okay, well, let me say something.
Bernard, you saying something? We can't hear you.
Bernard, are you talking?
You got to go out and come back in. It's whenever somebody, if you're using your phone and somebody call you, it interrupts your speaker, and then you got to go out and come back in. That's why I try to tell everybody to be on the computer. Can you hear us, Bernard?
Yeah. Sorry about that. It was a call came in.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But let me say something on that. I've been saying the same thing for over 8 years. I do believe that there should be term limits because we are not getting good representation when we allow people like Van Johnson, people like Estella Shabazz, and all of the other long-termers, long-timers to just sit in these seats and they keep getting re-elected. It's not based on what they're doing. It's based on name recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And if all I can do, if all I had to do is have fish fry or show up at a couple of doggone concerts and shake your hand and say, yeah, just vote for me. Vote for me. And don't nobody else know anybody else. It does not give other people the opportunity to come in and make a difference and make a change. So
Yeah.
I agree with the term limits. And hell, he should have voted for that 16 years ago when he was in the midst of mucking up the first district. Thank you.
Okay, and Ken, I'm gonna let others chime in before I say something. Go ahead, Bernard or Sean.
Yeah.
One of y'all want to say something?
I agree. I agree with how Sandra said it, the term limits. I agree with term limits. Why? Because same old people, same old thing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get it's hard to change minds. We stick with politicians because it's supposed to be they're gonna stand on that agenda and not weaken, not fall, not, you know what I'm saying, not get bribed and all that other stuff. So we count on them to stand their ground. Now, does that mean that the guy that been in there 20 years, it wouldn't change and falter and all that other stuff if he's comfortable in that seat? Nah, we need to make it to where they're uncomfortable. Every politician should feel like, hey, the heat is on his behind to do what he was elected for. You understand what I'm saying? Every one of them should be held, their feet should be under the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, Bernard.
Let me say this. I agree with what Sonya say. I agree with what you say, Sean. Yeah, it should be a time limit. But at the end of the day, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And if you got these folks butt kissing Van just to get along with him and you know, accountability. It's no accountability down there. He's running wild, doing what he want to do, thinking he Hollywood at the end of the day. And then you got these so-called people, you know, we're talking our face about him. And then when it's time to publicly, you know, they ain't saying nothing. They're praising him or whatever. Van don't care about Jewish. Van don't care about Mr. Brown. Van don't care about Sonya, Leisha, Keisha, Bernetta, Jamar, none of them, period. At the end of the day. So if you got somebody that don't care about you, why you should continue to put him in office? Why you should continue to not say what you really want to say about him? At the end of the day, like I said, I'm calling names. I don't know why. Jamar, let me say this here. This dude don't care about you. He don't care about you whatsoever. He's talking behind your back, period, like you dog. So at the end of the day, man, you got to fight fire with fire. Stand up for yourself and be real. You think that people, just because you go in the function, that they're gonna give you votes, that Robin and Leisha and Keisha, they ain't gonna give you. You need to go to the people and knock on their doors and interact with these people. These black people is suffering in Savannah, Georgia, and like I say, yeah, I stay in Atlanta, Georgia, but at the end of the day, I've been here for 4 months. What I see in 4 months is a disgrace. And if till y'all get that young man out of office, it's going downhill. Only thing this man care about is this. Long as these tourists come here and see what they want to see downtown, long as it look good, Okay, that's all he care about. He don't care about the black community. He don't care about us. And I always tell people, like I said, just because you look like us, you ain't for us at the end of the day. So Alicia, Bernetta, Keisha, Robin, all y'all need to start knocking on these folks' doors, man. And let these folks know what you really about, and stop letting folks talk about you in a negative way. I'm just keeping it real. It's happening. It's happening. And that's some why most of the young folks are not voting, because they say it's too much turmoil in city council and they tired of it. They tired of Van. They tired of everybody that's dying there. And one girl said, I'm not going to vote for neither one of them because neither one of them don't represent what they need to represent in Savannah, Georgia. So pick a side. Stop jumping from side to side, y'all. Pick a side or shut up at the end of the day. Van don't care about nobody but Van at the end of the day. And if he got a problem with me, call me. You got my number.
All right. Well, I'm going to say my piece, Mr. Charlie.
Go ahead.
I'm not for or against term limits because I believe the voters are the term limits. The voters decide who should stay there, who should not. I mean, you can get some people out who are entrenched through term limits, and that's probably a good idea. But if a person goes there thinking that they're going to stay forever, I think they got where you can only serve 12 years now. 12 years long enough for you to try to get something done and to move on to something else, or to take a year, a term off and come back and try to run. As far as putting stuff on the agenda, I think that was cruel and unusual punishment. Van doesn't like anybody to outshine him. So if things were on this agenda, then the Keisha, Alicia, and Bernetta would outshine him because they would be doing things to advocate for the people. These people are all suckered in right now in this city when they're with the hype of Van Johnson. Van Johnson is just another person from New York. He isn't from here, and he don't care about nobody here. Y'all soon find that out. Watch who all his best friends is, who he not speaking to now. How could anybody be that popular and you have so many friends that you're not speaking to now? You don't speak to Mr. Brown. He don't speak to me. He don't speak to my wife. He didn't speak to Victor Cooper. He didn't speak to anybody who. The only reason he speak to Bernetta Lanier now is because he has to on council. This man betrays everybody that he is around. Y'all have not seen it yet because you're kissing his butt too much. Those ones who haven't seen it, they're not trying to really get him to do what he's supposed to do. They're just hype on the hype. All these preachers, I'm going to get on y'all too. All y'all following him around knowing that he ain't shit. Y'all know better. Y'all know better.
No, going to get you for that.
Use preachers and everything in the same sentence, but still, y'all know better. Y'all know this man ain't nothing. I mean, he fooled us. Then he made promises and he broke the promises. He broke all the promises. Now we're still backing him. Y'all have had 3 years and a half to see that this man is not who he says he is, and is not going to do what he said he was going to do. So you preachers, it's on y'all too. Y'all be preaching to the congregation about doing the right thing, and then y'all ain't doing the right damn thing.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the Savannah table.
Okay, we know about Savannah table. Well, my input is Julius, Miss Bryant, I was out, and he did speak to us, but he said it in such a low tone. You had to have earplugs to actually hear. He said, "Hey, Mrs. Brown." So I can't let you get away with that because you wasn't with us when he did see us. We was out, but but election time was coming up, and we was aware while he was speaking to us. He's not going to change our mind. But I want to say this. The reason I'm so much for term limit is against term limit is because Julius said a lot, but I'm saying if a person is doing what they need to do and very positive, and the community is thriving and doing extremely well, they don't need to be replaced. The voters is term limit because the voters need to be informed. You shouldn't vote for someone if you're not happy with what's going on. And the voters are not being educated, and they are voting for the person who's not doing the good job. And that's why you got to inform. That's why this letter to the people are out, to let them know exactly sort of what's going on. The difference between Van Johnson and the city council is like being in Russia or China. I literally mean that. Do you know Keisha, Leisha, and Bernetta hadn't put anything on the agenda? Two of them ran citywide. One out of the first district, if her constituent want her to put something on the agenda, no other place in the country, they have to go into a workshop and say, we want to put some new streets in West Savannah. They have to vote for it, and if they don't get 5 votes, they can't put it on the agenda. Now, wouldn't you be frustrated? That's why the ladies be so frustrated, because they can't put anything on the agenda. Every single city council workshop, they get voted down. If you was not aware of that, the city charter have been changed. He backdoored his way into doing it. They hadn't put anything on city council since they've been sitting on city council. That's what's frustrating Keisha. That's what's frustrating Alicia. People, wake up. Your city council charter is not the same. You can go to Russia, China, and might do better. Nothing is happening. I'm asking you, question people. Van Johnson has not done anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true.
It's a moratorium for people who want to ask questions. Go ahead, Bernard.
My thing is all these flip-flopping people. Stop. My thing is this is what get me. Stop choosing what show you be on and what show you not be on because of certain people, we talk about. Just the rabble. If you a host, a co-host, you should be on there and talk about anybody that we bring up, you talk about. That's what we do. If you a man or woman enough, you shouldn't be shying away. Okay, so it's 8 of us, now it's 4 of us. Okay, at the end of the day, just because we talking about Van, you want to disappear? Come on, dude. Y'all need to ante up and stop being little bees. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that is the reason why I vote for time limits because we have people like that in our society that they know that these people are ratchet. They know that they mean the community no good, but they will keep going back to that trough and they'll keep drinking from that well. Loyalty. But if you remove that sour water and they don't have a way to go back to it, and that's what they had to do in biblical days. When God parted the Red Sea, in order for them not to be able to go back, he had to close that thing up. He couldn't leave it open because they would have turned back, and that's what we have to do. We have to take them out of the equation. And time limits are the only way that you are able to legally take people out of the equation.
the voters actually should make that choice. But the voters actually should make that choice, because once you get in power, I'm doing good, I'm getting things done, I'm getting it accomplished, and a green person coming in and cannot do that. But the question is, you know what the question? Term limit is not the damage. The question should be on the floor. The charter have been changed. How many people, the viewing audience, are aware of that? I bet you they're not aware of that. That's why Keisha and Alicia and Bernetta are upset, because they can't get nothing on the agenda. Van got 4 people, now it's 5, vote every single time with him. There's something wrong with that. I told you we can live in Russia. We can live in China. It's no different.
And Mr. Brown,
Congress is a good way, is a good depiction of why term limits needs to be, because you have people sitting in Congress, we can't get nothing done.
Okay,
Right.
we understand
The
that.
same
We
with at
understand
home.
that. But the voters supposed to make that choice. The voters should make that voice, not Van Johnson and Purdy Curtis or whatever his name.
At the same
voters
time,
should make that.
at the same time, when you say the voters, it's
Yes.
you're asking for the familiarity to happen again. You're asking for the familiar names to pop up again, or you're asking for, like, okay, let's say somebody of Caucasian persuasion ran against Van, right? People will vote for Van just because he's black, not because of what his agenda is or nothing like that. People will vote for Van just because, he's a familiar name and all that other stuff, you know?
Yes. Yes.
And that's the problem. It's like,
it's true to some point, Sean. Excuse me, but it's true to a certain degree. But the thing is, now 4 years ago, we weren't doing as much as we're doing now. We are everywhere. We have digital information going out. We got social media information going out. We got magazines going out. We got everything that we could tell the story and we can make a difference. We got people like Bernard has really been a one-man band by itself in the 5th district out there riding on the golf cart, talking to people. It takes us being engaged. We can't give up. Every little bit helps. When it comes to the executive session, and that's the third part of what we were talking about. The executive session.
Jim, please don't go there yet. Please don't go there yet.
We got to close out. We got so much to cover.
We gonna close it, but don't go there yet.
Y'all got to be a little smarter,
Sean said something interesting. He said, "Pose a white persuasion." Edna Jackson was a household name. Sit on city council for almost 16 years. She was mayor, and she ran against a white persuasion, and he defeated her. So I'm saying, because they felt that she did not do nothing, and blacks did not vote for her. So you're absolutely wrong, and I'm trying to say that the voters make that choice. Edna lost to Eddie DeLoach, and she was an incumbent. So that is wrong. The voters make that.
Well,
You know why she lost? She only lost because of the high crime rate. She lost because of the crime.
Correct.
She
It don't
lost.
make no difference.
and who else was on the ballot with her?
Nobody.
This wasn't like no. When I mean the ballot, like, was this a presidential election at the same time?
No.
Was it?
No.
So this was just a straight Savannah election where y'all were asking Savanians to come out and vote, because you know what I mean. It's like, according to me, it's according to who else is out there also. You know, like me, I feel like these judges. We need to start taking a look at these judges who we put in the judge seat. That's the most local election we can have, right? Besides the sheriff. But we don't. Who we got running it for judges?
And you see people now saying that they did not know. And a lot of people didn't know. Just like I went to somebody's house yesterday, they were in the yard, and I saw Pat Rossler's signs out. But when I turned around and I talked to them. I didn't go back to talk about the signs. I saw them and I hadn't seen them in a while. I stopped to talk to them, and they did not know that Pat Rossler was running against Alicia because they voting for Alicia. They support Alicia, but they got Pat Rossler signs in the yard. So they're uninformed.
Yeah.
You know? So we got to get people informed. We got to do what Bernard is doing out there, knocking on doors and talking to people. People don't know until you talk to them because they're not engaged. And it's been a systematic policy, effort for them to do this to us. Systematically, they want us to be uninformed so that we will make uninformed choices.
And that's
these people support Alicia Blakely, but they had Rossler signs in their yard. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know who they were. So we got to educate the people. We got to tell people what's going on. But let's get to Bernard. Did you have something before we go to the executive session?
No, and you're right. And that's what I have seen is that people don't know. And then when you bring it up, you was like, man, I didn't know that. And at the end of the day, man, people they want to change. They really do want to change. But they're trying to figure out, okay, you know, what's going on. If you don't know, you don't know. But you have to ask the question at the end of the day. You know, people go vote for people, you know, people vote for Van because, you know, there's nobody knocking on their door to say, hey, this is what's going on, and this is the man you don't need to vote for.
And nobody this. You're right.
Yeah.
And this is what you need to be taking out and giving it to them, because this is enough to destroy anybody. This is enough. Charlie Brown, you did an excellent job on it. You should write a book.
It's not to destroy anyone. It's there where the voters can make a.
You want to destroy them politically, not to destroy anybody.
A voter I want the voters to make a fair choice. The voters need. You know, I gotta believe when people fail, they fail for two reasons: lack of information and lack of knowledge. And what I try to do is give them that. That's why when y'all mentioned the term limit, which I don't want to get on that, the subject should be the charter, because that's the most dangerous thing going. And the people need to know, asking, why did you change the charter to silence the community? Because large people ran citywide, just like the mayor. That's all correct. I'm saying. People, wake up, please. You can go to the next one, Jill. Y'all can go to the next one.
Sandra, you reading it?
Oh, sorry. Let me find it.
I can get it if you can pull it up.
I got it. No, close executive session. This is another topic. No other branch of government, county or board of education, has gone for more than 2 years without going into executive session. This is where important matters related to personnel and real estate are discussed. Evidently, there are meetings outside of executive sessions to discuss those important matters. So obviously they having meetings outside the meetings. Tell us, elaborate on it, Charlie.
Okay, I'm gonna just interject just a little bit on this, because it's interesting. You guys might not have been watching. In the past 2 years, not one time they say we cannot discuss this. It have to be in private to discuss it. Executive as section. Y'all hadn't noticed it hadn't happened in over 2 years. Now, when is it being discussed? Property, buying stuff, it's being discussed somewhere. It's not happening like in the past 2 years. And no one the keynote speaker, Van Johnson, is in charge of the administrative down there. Bernard,
Yeah.
you watch it a little bit. Have you heard him say we need to go into the executive section? No, because you know why? It hadn't happened in 2 years. And the people are not even questioning it.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing. You know, they having sidebars. Like they said, they having sidebars. It ain't no different than what they're doing in Florida. They put something up there to distract y'all, but they having sidebars. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. It's 10 houses now that I see. Okay, it's 10 houses on Montgomery Street, right now, being redone. And all I'm redoing is Mexican redoing it. Every last one of them. So when they go ahead and finish it, you know what they're gonna be? They're gonna be a partner for the SCAD development. And that right there, I guarantee you that was a sidebar. That was a sidebar. I guarantee you get in your car and you ride around Savannah and ride around like I'm riding around, you'll see. That's it. It's a sidebar between Van Johnson, the developer, SCAD, and the other folks who getting under the table stuff. That's what's going on. And people need to realize what's going on.
Well, in this instance, for executive session, you handle all personnel, you handle real estate, legal matters. They cannot run a government effectively without discussing these things. That's why it's so much hell going on, because these girls are raising hell to make sure that they are raising awareness, because they're being locked out. How is all the city business being handled when you don't even have executive session? That means somebody's having some sidebars, like Bernard said, and it's those people and those 6. So I guess he's polling those 6 people, because he ain't calling those 3.
Yeah.
He's calling those other 5, and he makes 6, and then they making the executive session moves, which should be illegal.
And,
you know, because you just can't go 2 years without executive session. It's almost criminal.
Joe, and the question, Sandra, and the question, who are holding their feet to the fire? No one.
No one.
WTOC, JCL, SAV, no one is saying nothing. And all the people walk around Savannah, and I'm just crying, driving my truck up and down the street and say, jump up and down. Find out why. What are they doing? When are they discussing personnel? When are they discussing any of this?
They're not listening.
And you know what they tell me? You know what they like to say? He's a wonderful man. Oh, he is. He did a good job with COVID, but he don't stand up for nothing else.
But Mr. Brown, this is what people are reading this and saying, wow, I didn't know that. Because they're not engaged. So we have to go to those voters to understand. Believe me this, they are naive if they don't think that Van Johnson has lost half his base already. Believe me, I'm on the ground. I know that he's lost half his base. These people are upset with him. We just got to get the rest of them upset with him.
Our black media need to inform the people. We are not Fox News. We are our black media. We're going to give them this information. But guess what? Like the Bible, read it yourself. Look and see what I'm talking about. Ask questions. We just not telling you stuff. We want you to do the research.
Because, Mr. Brown, that's the key word right there, Mr. Brown. What you just said, the last word out your mouth. You can get a copy of this here by just contacting any of us. We'll send it to you. It's in everybody's email. We'll send you a digital copy of it. The thing is, research. After these accusations or these things, these are truths. All you have to do is go look into it, because the people are not informed as to what this man is doing.
Yes. Yes, and I'm simply saying you can sue me or sue who for what? It's the truth. And It's a lie on that.
Yeah. And my thing is what get me is they throw these ladies, Alicia, Keisha, and Bernetta, they throw them out there, and they people killing them because they don't know the truth. My thing is, where are the men's in Savannah, Georgia? Where are the men's in Savannah, Georgia to fight with these ladies? I don't understand. And then you got the men, but you got no men so far up Van that when he blows something, they come out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't never met a bunch of punks, man. Men, man. I swear, man, if y'all stand by these ladies,
okay, I'm choking.
I'm telling y'all need to stand by these ladies and fight, man. And at the end of the day, that's the problem, man. You know, they punks. They punks, period.
And see, people are listening to the wrong things, Bernard, because, you know, I had somebody tell me they weren't voting for Keisha because that she was too disruptive. She's disruptive on your behalf. You don't even realize she's fighting for you. She's fighting every day for you. Ain't nothing that girl doing trying to lift herself up. Nothing that she does. Her, Alicia, Bernetta, ain't nothing they doing trying to lift themselves up. All they're talking about is lifting the community. But you take the other six, they're lifting themselves up.
Julius, especially. Julius, I'm going to calm down for a minute. And I want y'all to hear me out very careful. Viewing audience, hear me out. If you come home every day to explain what's for supper, and you cannot get it to the family, that will frustrate you. They have things they want to say, and they can't get it on the agenda. Would you be frustrated? Come on, viewing audience. Don't be so naive or whatever funny words. Come on, give me a break. You know you'll be frustrated completely. That's why Keisha is so frustrated. And Alicia just go off, and she go off. You might not like her palate, what come out of her mouth. But she's the greatest communicator that we ever had on city council.
I agree
in
with
the
that.
history. Whether the news are good or bad, she will tell you what's going on. And learn to love her palate, because she is for the people, and we voted for her. She was the #1 vote getter, and I ain't changing that for no one.
And Mr. Brown, one of the things that, you know, we have to realize is that don't listen to WTOC, period. SAV and JCL, sometimes they'll do what's right, but do not listen to WTOC. They are some garbage. They're almost like Fox, because really all they do is promote this man. This man is on TV every damn day. I never seen it in history. Big cities don't do that. And here it is, he on TV every day. He's their news. So they promote him. Do not listen to WTOC, because they are all against these women all the way. They are not supportive of these women. Do not and Savannah now is a piece of trash. That's why the newspaper went out of order. Our magazine put out more than they do.
Jill, you know, you and I have been partners for a while. I'm gonna have to disagree. I want the viewing audience to compare the two, and I'm suggesting when you mention the other station, you can look at who you want. We ain't suggesting none of that, but we saying you can see how unfair some of the stations are. We're not advocating. That's Mr. Hall are advocating it. Our black media are not. We saying we want you to do your own research. Look at any station you choose. We're not one way. We just know
we
some
are right
stations,
now.
It's not fair.
We are right now. WTOC is some garbage. Do not listen to it.
That's okay.
Don't listen to it.
I second agree.
And that's our black media telling you that.
I'm not gonna agree with you, but again, they can look at them if they want to.
Speak of the devil. I mean, speak of the God. Will you add something you wanted to say, Brother Jamal? Because we're about to show the see, Bernard, one thing I have for you is that it ain't just happening in Savannah. It's happening in Atlanta also.
Yeah.
We got a 6-minute video that I want y'all to see. Don't y'all go nowhere, because we got a lot to discuss in the next 50 minutes. So we got 50 minutes left. We got a 6-minute video we're gonna show you. We ain't showing you no commercials tonight. We got a 6-minute video we're gonna show you. And I want y'all to listen to this pastor. This is what I want y'all pastors in Savannah to do. Stand your asses up. Stand up. That's what y'all need to do. You're supposed to be for the people. And call your pastor and tell him I said it. And if he has a problem with it, like Bernard said, they know my number.
I can't be on the show.
Nobody calling me.
I can't be on your show.
Yeah, I know. Because you're a pastor too.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Some people don't know
that. You cannot follow people to hell if they're trying to lead you there.
Yeah.
These people congregation go off of what they see their pastors do. And if you're going to follow somebody that you know is in violation, 6 pages long, of all kind of atrocities, hell, you need to go before a damn tribunal.
That's it. That's it.
Man, it's disgusting. I help him get there.
Julius, like you say, everything we bring into the people, it is information where they can make the right decision and the right choice to do things. I understand you shouldn't even let them in if they're going to pop in and out. I'm asking y'all guys, you don't have to agree with us. The only thing I'm saying that if you look and see what we got going on, it's all the truth. It's the truth. It's how you handle the truth.
Yeah.
And some of you on this panel can't handle the truth.
I can handle the truth. I can handle the truth. I can handle the truth.
No, you can't.
Obviously, you can't.
No,
you can't.
I can handle the truth.
Because they not talking about the truth.
Wait a minute.
He just holding it. He knows the truth.
Julia,
Yeah.
hit dog a holler. And I ain't going to ask him what kind of dog got hit either.
Yeah.
Hey,
A chihuahua. A chihuahua.
Jamal, while you finna drive to get right, we gonna show Kiana Jones, Reverend Kiana Jones in Atlanta, Georgia, speaking to the Atlanta City Council. Y'all listen to this sister. She went off, and y'all will see why I just went off the way I did. Because it's happening right here in Savannah also. Here we go. Y'all stand by. Y'all share. Y'all viewers don't go nowhere. Y'all want to see this sister? This is what we need in Savannah.
Atlanta City Council. My name is Reverend Kiana Jones, and I stand here before you as a member of the Faith Coalition to Stop Cop City. And I'm looking at each one of your faces, and I really want to understand how it is that you asked people to vote for you and then ignored their voices. How it is that you feel okay with yourself lauding Abel Mabel, who had a lot to say about treating people right, who had a lot to say about the words of the Bible that many of you like to quote. Well, let me remind you of something. Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. That whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So understand this, that the sins of the father will be visited on the children. It has happened time and again. So it may not happen to you, but what about your child? What about their children? What about their children's children's children? What will your legacy be? You so-called legacies of black misleadership sitting up here on this council. Let me tell you something. Representation is not enough when you don't represent the people who elected you. The people came out and spoke clearly. And let me go to the Bible one more again and say that we are here as clergy to cry loud and spare not We are opening our mouths and crying with a loud voice to say that we don't want Cop City. I live in East Atlanta. I don't want Cop City. I got 5 black children. I don't want Cop City. I like breathing clean air. I don't want Cop City. I want to drink clean water. I don't want Cop City. I don't want Black Hawk helicopters landing around the corner from my house. I don't want Cop City. I don't. My neighbors don't. My granny don't. She's been in her house almost 50 years, and you suckers will never get it through gentrification because we knew what to do. And Mary Norwood and the people of Buckhead, this will not be your trade-off. When are you going to stop dealing with the white supremacist infrastructure and dealing with the so-called black elites in Atlanta in your silent agreement that as long as they go along with the white establishment, they're going to keep them other N-words over there in control? We know that in the 20 to 30-year cycle of gentrification, by the time black people can move back into my neighborhood the way we used to be, it'll be 20 or 30 years from now. And Cop City was your answer to make sure that our black asses stay right over there and don't go to Buckhead. But we telling you right now, as sure as Peachtree runs into Buckhead, this is our land. And we ain't gonna stop fighting. We are not going to stop standing. Get used to these voices. Get used to these faces. Get used to being called out. And if you feel like you in church, then maybe you ought to say ouch, because I know I'm standing up here preaching to somebody. And if you harden your heart, be reminded of the story of another Pharaoh who had a very hard heart, who would not free the people of God, who would not lead them to their land. You know what happened in that story. Don't think that you will not suffer the same fate. Don't think that the infrastructure of this so-called black Mecca will not come toppling over, because it will. And how long are you going to treat us like we dumb as dirt? We're not. We are not. We know more than you think we know. And the fact that you chose to ignore a legal court order to stop work and allowed greedy corporations to go ahead displacing people, but taking up my green space. Don't you know that the environment has been used to oppress and suppress black people and indigenous people for ages? And we see this. So we're talking about environmental justice. We're talking about economic justice, because the least y'all could have done was mandate that those contractors who work on that job, that they hire at least 33% of community members. But you're not doing that. So you don't care about the air we breathe. You don't care about the water we drink. You don't care if we can make a living wage. You don't want to sustain that community. You want to displace us so that those who are giving you kickbacks can have something that they said we built over here and we got them Negroes out. Why are you okay with that? Because I know somebody who's on this council had a father who stood to make sure that Negroes could stand and be wherever they wanted to be. I'm saying all of it, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of self-righteous people sitting in seats of so-called authority, and you are deluded to think that you have power. We have the power, and we gave you authority because we trusted you. And shame on you, Dustin Hillis. I don't give a damn if you don't look at me one time, because you know what you have done, and you know you ain't worth the dirt up under your feet. But I tell you what, in the words of my granny, because I ain't got to lean on the Bible, Mary Kay Thomas is a strong woman and taught me to fight. In the words of my granny, you may not pay what you owe, but you will reap what you sow.
Thank you. Next will be Laura Kearns.
We still have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
Let the
She's
church say
powerful,
amen.
wasn't she? This
Yeah.
is a
Wow.
minister. This is a faith leader in Atlanta, Georgia. A faith leader. We need that type of energy here. The only one
Yeah.
doing it is Pastor Small.
Some of the
He's the only
same
one
thing.
doing it.
Some of the same things are in this.
Yeah.
Everything she say is the truth, man. And like I say, you got what I said when I was texting all that on the phone to us is that I am tired of these fake behind people don't want to stand up for what's right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be around fake people. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stand up for what's right, then hey, move yourself. Stop jumping the boat. Stop trying to play both sides. Because at the end of the day, you know, you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side. And I know these women down here, man, they tired. Well, my thing is this, and I'm a hush. I get tired of black women constantly fighting for our black ass. Our men. Like I said, punk. We got these punk behind men that always want to think everything is funny. It ain't funny. It ain't funny, man. These women are tired. And therefore, I'm going to sit around in Savannah, Georgia, and let them fight for themselves. I got their back, and who don't like it can go to hell.
All right. No,
give me your phone number. No.
Hey, Google me. All you got to do, Google me, period.
Gotcha. You got a point there, my brother.
Seriously. I'm tired. I'm tired at the end of the day. So if you with us, stay with us. If you're gonna do a show, stay on it and don't black yourself off. RG, if you're gonna come on here for 5 minutes, you don't need to come over here no minute. Jesus, if you want to come over here for 3 minutes, you don't come over for no minute. You either stay on or stay off.
All right.
Stand up for what's right. And stop shipping boats. Stop jumping on side to side.
Okay, what's our next subject?
Let me find it.
I think it's Broughton Street.
Yes, it is Broughton Street. Botch Broughton Street with the use of taxpayer dollars. Millions of dollars invested in a flawed streetscape project where downtown businesses have suffered, denied relief for lost revenue, parking issues, and damage to inventory. Many cars are now being damaged daily due to making the streets smaller and turns more difficult. Roughly $20 million in bricks. Oh, wow. Okay.
I think they're running about 22 million now. 22 million, right, Charlie?
I'm gonna have to say approximate over $20 million to be sort of political correct on that.
Yeah.
My concern is that they could have take and put up street lights like they did Waters Avenue from Wheaton to Victor Drive. They did not put that kind of concrete. People with disability do the sidewalks, and that's all they had to do, and it would have saved them over $15 million or close to at least $10 million. It could have do it the same they did Waters Avenue. I'm saying the parking spaces are terrible downtown. You turn and make a certain turn, you might tear your car up completely. That is a hurtful feeling when you got people live in the city, still got dirt roads. And they're going to spend over $20 million in bricks on Broughton Street. And when the tourists are not here, we have to pay for the infrastructure. The taxpayers who live here to feel on their own property or whatever.
Yeah.
No one have called him out on that. I know Van didn't do it by himself, but again, y'all keep in mind, he is the mayor and he's the keynote speaker. He speaks for the city. He stood up for COVID-19. He could stand up for that as well and say maybe we need to look at not putting that many bricks on Broughton and share the money in the streets that need some paving, like a Gisherton. They don't have paved street. Those people living over there for 50 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to answer something real quick. Mr. Kenneth Jenkins said he tried to say these things, say what needs to be said through one of our black media publications, but would not publish my piece. I never saw it. I okay everything. So if you send anything here through our black media, send it to me. And if it's worthy of being published, it will be. I try not to, if somebody got something to say and it's for the betterment of this community instead of to the detriment of this community, it will be published. We have magazines, we got these shows, we have digital, we have everything that is going out trying to inform our people. So if you got something to say, I think you're a preacher, right? If you have something to say, then come on, stand up with us with the Weeping Time. Come on and join on with Pastor Gordon and Pastor Smalls at the Weeping Time, and let's get this thing going. Bring all your congregation out. These are things that we need to do. We need to stop doing things in silos, stop doing things by ourselves, and join together and do it together. That's the only way that they're going to listen to us.
Because the truth will set you free. And that's what we're doing tonight, is trying to give you the truth, the information. We're not trying to bamboozle you and lie and trick. We want you to make the right choice when you get ready to cast your ballot. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I understand. You're right. And I understand what no bricks was for. I mean, I was down there today. I'm like, you know what? Wasted money. That money that you spend should have been revamping the Blacks Tower, the people who stay in there. You know what I'm saying? Do something with this homeless situation. I'm telling you right now, it's not, I guess in Savannah, it's not a black or white homeless thing. I have never seen so many white homeless people in Savannah in my life. You got the South Side, it is terrible. So they say the white folk, you know, somebody said on the show, the white folks doing fine. Okay, well, obviously some of them not.
No, you wasn't talking about everybody. You was talking about the power brokers,
right?
The ones downtown.
So at the end of the day, we got a problem. We got a
$22 million on Broughton Street. We do have problems. $22 million to lay bricks. What other, like Mr. Brown said, you could have did something better with that money. $22 million in bricks, and now the mayor is blaming it on the contractors. You shouldn't have never damn did it. What the hell? You put $22 million in bricks for somebody else to walk on. Broughton Street was fine. All you had to do was just, if you want to do something, just repave it, widen the sidewalks, widen the streets or something. So, and you have the traffic lights in sync. If you want to do something on Broughton Street, that's what you need to do on Broughton Street, and then do those business owners down there like you do everybody else with your code enforcement officers. Make them come up to standards. But you only have selective code enforcement. We'll get to that later on in the program. But it's a lot of stuff that needs to be going. What needs to happen is a change of administration down there.
That's it.
A change of administration.
That's it.
We won't have these problems because now we'll be talking about everybody's included. Van Johnson does not include anybody, don't want anybody included with it because his light is the only one that shines. And the flunkies that he got with Nick and Purdy, Purdy's the biggest disappointment in all of my, Lord, I don't even want to talk about it. And Dietrich and Linda and Estella, who we thought was going to do the right thing. All she cares about is herself. Doing the right thing ain't for Estella. And I'm saying, Estella, if you got a problem with it, y'all know where I'm at. You are not doing the right thing. Period. You only doing what's best for you. What's best for your community, you are not doing.
Yeah. And you know, and you got so many black people. This is the problem with them in Savannah. Just because it don't bother them, just because they working and they making money and they paying their bills and all is fine with them. Okay, but what about the rest of them? What about the rest of them that don't know how to pay their bill because they ain't got money to pay their bills? What about those folks in Skillwood Tower? What about these other folks on Duran? What about those folks? You know what I'm saying? You need to take that money and help these black folks, man. They're suffering. And Van, you think you Hollywood, dude? You ain't Hollywood. You ain't Hollywood. And somebody need to call them out, man. And I'm tired of people call them out in public. Stop calling them out behind closed door. And then when you get in public, you want to change your mind about him. The dude ain't no good. He ain't doing his job. At the end of the day, say call him out.
And we already predicted, Bernard, when he would start babysitting the black community at year 3. At year 3, the year before election, that's when he starts coming back out. Now he has time for us. You know, and I can say us. Yeah, I live in Fort Worth, but I got property in Savannah. I'm renovating 2 of them now in Savannah, in West Savannah. So I have a say. So don't tell me I don't have no say. I know that's what he's probably going to end up saying. No, this Hall lives in Fort Worth, but the Hall lives wherever he feels like. He got houses in West Savannah also. My whole family's out there. So you can't tell us what we can say and that I don't have a right to say it. But
and call this gentleman out too. Call Chester Ellis out too.
Please.
All he do is ride around there thinking he Hollywood too. And they stay in the first, they stay in Cloverdale, but they think they Hollywood. Call Chester out. I ain't seen so many people ride around in Savannah cars and they ain't doing nothing. And yeah, I got to say so here because I grew up here. I stay in Atlanta, but I raised up here. And I see what's going on. Chester, Ellis, Van Johnson, y'all need to take your head out y'all, you know what, and do what's right.
Okay, Jamar's back with us.
Man, I don't even want to hear all that.
He can't, John said the mayor can't fill the police department or do streetscapes. Or do a streetscapes project. MLK, yes, sir. Mr. Jenkins. Van's only help is high on Reddit. Van's help is those flunkies that he got around him thinking that he's doing a great thing when he's doing really good detriment of our community.
Okay.
Anyway, Ogeechiton. We don't get to Ogeechiton. Sandra,
y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ogeechee has ignored appeals for relief from environmental pollutants and noise, allowed illegal business operations. Parts of Ogeechiton has had dirt roads for over 50 years. They pay taxes too.
Yeah, Charlie.
You want me to go on to Cloverdale? We can just lump them all in?
Yeah, lump them with Cloverdale too.
Can I ask a question?
Huh?
Can I ask a question before we go on?
Yeah.
What type of environmental pollutants are we talking about? Like, is it,
I think
it is a block company over there. It's Clark Block Company over there. And in addition, you have a junkyard that's over there also with regards to cars.
And they were saying...
And the first was put on Rontelvad.
Yeah, they had, Keisha had them on and Jamar had them on, and they gave their story that when it was the time to cancel this, because the people ran out of business and they sold the business, they gave the business to somebody else, the city did not have to renew this contract because those people who were grandfathered in were now gone. They could have canceled it, right, Jamar, and not give the people a permit to operate.
Right. Actually, under the impression that it wasn't going to happen. And then all of a sudden they found out that they not have a license to operate. No one knew where it was coming from. Initially, again, under the impression that it wasn't going to occur. And that in addition, you got vehicles when you come out of Geechiton, it is a hazard to come out of Geechiton. Because when you got those trucks that are blocking up the pathway, you guys just come out too far. So again, that's one of the hazards over there too.
Once you finish telling about the streets, they've been dirt roads over there for the last 50 years.
And that's Dawes on the other side, because it's Geechee and Dawes. Dawes is still dirt roads over there. And again, we reported, in fact, I tell people, I shared this over 10 years ago that about Dawes, and even 2 years ago, discussing that how in the city of Savannah, in the Dawes community, which is right on the other side of Geechee Road, right across from Geechee, that they still got dirt roads over. And also, let me go and say that, and no street lights and no lights. So your car lights are going to be the way that you can be able to see anybody when you're traveling, or even get to your home.
And you're absolutely right. And you're talking about spending over 20 million on bricks on Broughton. That's not fair. They pay taxes as well. And my concern is they could have spread the money around like they did Waters Avenue. They did not lay a lot of new concrete. They put in street lights. That could have happened on Broughton Street, and spend that money in Cloverdale, Carver Village, and in Geechee, where dirt roads still exist. And you just heard him say, no street lights. That's not right. That happened under one person administration.
That's correct.
People wake up.
I think we were talking about the sidewalks, no sidewalks, except we got you got a real special sidewalk in one of the top people in his administration. I think his name Brett Bell or something like that. Go by his house, you'll see this fancy, nice sidewalk in front of his house. But when you go in Woodsville, you won't see no sidewalks. You go in West Savannah, you barely see a sidewalk except down Augusta Avenue. You are making the quality of life better for everybody except the people who put you there, Van Johnson. Everybody except the people who put you there. You can't win another race in Chatham County. I guarantee you that. Just by talking to the people who are mad with you. It's nothing you can do to fool them. You came out in year 3. You made promises when you were elected, and you broke all of them. You didn't add no leaf to the table for everybody to sit to. You took the leaf out. You made the table shorter. You locked the door so nobody else can walk in. And everybody following you, believing in you. All those people that were at the announcement. Shame on all y'all, especially the pastors. Because they gonna follow somebody down a damn road that is endless and dark.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Like I said, you got to speak up, man. And I'm just over it. I'm just looking, man. But I'm pissed because at the end of the day, we probably need to separate ourselves for a lot of people, because seeing to me, we the only one talking and bringing us forward to people. You know what I'm saying, about this young man. And that's every time you talk about this young man, people start disappearing. For what? I mean, he put on his pants, put on his dress or whatever he putting on, just like just like everybody else. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. Mr. Brown, seriously, when you put on a pants, dress or whatever, I mean, stand up for the people in Savannah, man.
I got nothing to do with the dress part. Okay.
I love Bernard.
I thought Tang and Country went out of business years ago. You remember Tang and Country?
Man.
On Full Street.
See, that's where you pulled that.
Sean, you don't know nothing about Tang and Country. They just have women pants and suits and ladies suits. And
we got roughly 20 minutes left, people. I know we're not going to get over this whole document. We're going to have a part 2.
Part 2.
Saturday we can't because we got Robert's event Saturday.
He gonna pop in or pop out.
Now I'm not gonna show up at Robert's place since he don't have enough respect to sit on there. It's not gonna affect his voters. He will not see me on Saturday because he go in and out. I can't handle that. Okay. I understand he is running, but at the same time, all he have to say I understand the position he take. I cannot be there Saturday. I got to find something else to do, and all my friends and supporters will not be there.
Yeah, and no, not being mean, and you too. It's like if I'm running for 5th district, and I'm having a show like this here, I'm gonna stay on there, and I'm gonna let the people know where I am.
Voice it.
Like it,
Voice it. Say it.
He might have an emergency that we don't know about, so let's find out why he. No. We got to. We have to get some uniformity. I wish you all were in the studio. Then you can't go no damn way. I know Sandra probably cooking. Uncle Sean attended to the dog and all kind of stuff. And
I'm eating my food. I'm eating my food and driving, and I can't be on. They don't be on with eating food.
Mute.
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 Hey, somebody say Charlie should run. Run what? Run.
Julius, you don't need to say anything negative about me at all.
I didn't say nothing negative.
Now,
I didn't say nothing.
I want you to stop because I can very well say that's why you're not Mayor Paul Wentworth, because you're not doing the right thing.
I thought Bernard said he was running.
You do not have thick skin. You was the most thinnest skin I know.
Hey,
I thought Bernard said he was running.
Julie, that's finished. What's next? Property tax.
2024, right?
Hey, 2028. 2028.
Hey.
My Charlie should run for the 5th. You don't live in the 5th.
And Mr. Brown, I'm offended at what you said about Julius Hall. I'm gonna stand up for Julius Hall. I'm offended. I just come back on. I'm offended, Mr. Charlie Brown, what you said about Julius Hall.
Mute.
Well, I'm gonna say this. You say what you want, but birds of a feather flock together. You know exactly what you two do. In the dark, because you in the dark now. You need to stop. You need to act God when you go home and get on your knees tonight.
No CARES Act money for blacks. No CARES Act money. No CARES Act money. That's what we're going to discuss. We're not here to attack each other. We're here to debate these things in this wonderfully written dissertation that Mr. Brown put together. Let's give credit where credit is due. If you knew these things, people, you would vote a different way. You need to get this. And once you get it, like Mr. Brown said, and like Mr. Bernard Brown said, research, do your research. Yeah. All you got to do is see if anything in here is wrong.
Fact check.
If anything in here is wrong, it's about 25 points or so. If any of it is wrong, see Mr. Brown.
Fact check.
Yeah. Hey.
So go ahead and read the CARES Act thing, money.
Of the $1.2 million allocated for small businesses in Savannah, only 2 Black businesses received funding in the amount of $50,000 each. At least 10 Black businesses should have received funding because because we are 56% of the population.
Wow.
This injustice took place under Van Johnson.
Well, then out of those 50, Chandra, 20, if we're 56% of the population and they gave 50 people money, 50 different businesses money of $50,000, then what we should have got at least 26 or 27 of those.
But Julius, and you're absolutely right, but I was conservative enough to say that's okay. At least give us 10 should at least got it instead of just 2. That's where I'm coming from.
But
then he said, so now let's just speak. He said that it's going to be a second round, and the second round never came.
Child, please. He knew that was a lie when he told it. But it should have been based on the number of, if you guys have so many Black businesses, it should have been based on a number of small Black businesses that you have. If places like Liquid and these other Black small businesses did not get any funding, I question that. Because I'm sure that there's more than 2 businesses that qualified for that money.
Right. 2 Black but when they went to get the money, all of it was gone already to those businesses. We only have like 12 minutes. And we got a bunch of subjects left. We can't cover all of them tonight, but we do need to get to the main ones. And everybody don't have to speak on it. But if you want to say something, go ahead and say it. I'm going to be quiet the rest of the night, but y'all can say what you got to say. We need y'all to share this. Call your pastor and tell them to give me a call. I don't mind talking to any pastor. Tell them to call me or Bernard Brown. Any of them.
There you go.
Call me or Bernard Brown if they want to talk to us. Our numbers are available. Y'all can get us anywhere. Call Facebook, everywhere. But we got 12 minutes. Alicia says 42 businesses got money. Only 2 Black-owned businesses got funds. Now, isn't that something?
That's crazy. 2.
And one of them was suspect, I heard.
Wow.
Jamon Frozen?
No. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown. How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself, Charlie Brown?
Charlie Frozen?
No. Charlie just.
I'm not frozen. You frozen. And I want to say this, Julian. I want to say this. Tell the folks, Charlie Brown, that's my son, is Charlie Brown II, the one who's doing all that commenting.
Okay. We're going to get the 2. Yeah, that's Charlie Brown II. We're going to get the 2 subjects before we get out of here. And their CARES, we already got the CARES Act. We know that no Black businesses got it except those 2 out of 50, which was unfair. And they were already gone when the people applied for it. So let's get the alcohol license and crime.
Over 600 bar and alcohol. Over 600 bar and alcohol establishment. Less than 10 are owned by African Americans. Blacks seem to have a more difficult time in getting licensed to serve alcohol. There appears to be more hoops to jump through in order to get any approval. The same for aldermen and himself always vote no. Any place in Savannah, the Crew Lounge on Victory Drive, right next to where Johnny Harris used to be, is one example of a Black business being blackballed.
Okay. Well, the Black businesses, anybody want to take that? All of us can't talk on it because we only got 12 minutes. And then we'll get to the weeping time next.
I just don't understand how they keep moving the goalposts. And I really, in my heart, feel like all of the Black businesses that have applied for an alcohol license in the last 5 years or more should bring a class action lawsuit against the city of Savannah for discrimination. And it doesn't matter that we have a majority, council that's Black. That doesn't mean that they don't discriminate.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Bernard? Anybody?
Man, it's a shame. And then we calling out these Black folks. Let's call out these white folks too. They behind most of this stuff. What's going on too? You know what I'm saying? They got him where they want him. You know what I'm saying? He dictate everything they say. He gonna dictate to it. You know what I'm saying? You put a black face in front of him, and guarantee you, it's some white boys behind him.
Well, the only problem is we don't exactly know who those people are. We got to hold those accountable who we elected, and we know that they're puppets, and the puppet master is behind the scenes. So we
Mr. Brown will research it. Mr. Brown will get it out. Mr. Brown research that for me.
One of the biggest things I'm concerned is that in my research, I noticed when Black businesses go up there to try to get an alcohol license, they find so many excuses why it's more in that community than it should be in that, and yet they got over 600 licenses in Savannah, and less than 10 are Black. if you guys don't think there's something wrong with that, and we control, suppose the 56% of the population,
56.
there's something wrong with that picture. And the people who voting against it look just like us, and yet they don't feel that we're capable of taking care of ourselves. It's not fair, and it's not. Someone mentioned a class action lawsuit. Son, did you say that?
Yeah.
You are right, and that's what's going to probably happen because misjustice are being. I'm telling all the people, he stand up for a lot of things like covert, but he stand up for nothing key to blacks. And I'll be quiet after this. I find it interesting. The last time he voted last after this crew lounge, he voted last and voted yes. You know why he voted yes?
It's election
time. Know he had 5 to say no, so it wasn't going no place. But guess why he voted yes?
Election time.
It's the same thing. He's going to show up in your churches,
your
parties now. He wants you to vote for him again. Please, people, read, do the research. Ask, why did you change the charter? Don't let him get away with all this.
Close the door in his face, just like he closing the door in y'all face. Y'all see him clubbing, shut the door.
That's correct. That's correct. Give him the cold shoulder. You ain't got to kiss up to him. Walk away from him.
Walk away.
Let him see that you're dissatisfied in everything you do. Don't be fake. Weeping time property sellouts. Weeping time property sellouts. Weeping time property sellouts. We only have a few minutes left, y'all, because I cannot go over 2 hours and replay it the way that I want to replay it. You'll see this replayed.
I'll take first. It'll be about 1 minute.
Led African American Majority Council to vote to desecrate the land of the largest cell of enslaved people. And you have a statue of Robert E. Lee in the middle of Forsyth Park. Van is not standing up for the weeping time at all. Again, another injustice demonstrated by his leadership.
Okay, now what I meant by that, he stand up against the governor for covert. And all I'm saying, he could have very well say, what we need to do is to look in and see what we can do and try to get it done. Whether you have to go through the state or what, and that never took place. And that's sad.
Well, he's indicated that there's going to be a monument at the grandstand area for the weeping time.
It's going to be a what?
A monument to the weeping time at the grandstand area that was there for the weeping time on the property. He said it'll be a monument.
What, they gonna put that on top of the Salvation Army?
They gave him a little lot.
They're gonna incorporate it.
Yeah, they gave him a little space.
They can go to hell, all of them.
Yep, straight.
Well, anyway, the weeping time, I think, is our biggest issue. We have not only somebody got some stuff going on in the back. The weeping time is one of our biggest issues. We didn't cover all of this stuff because it's too large. It is so large that if this don't change your mind, you ain't nothing but a sucker. If this don't change your mind, you are a sucker. You know, and all you gotta do is research it. The weeping time. Now he claims that he wants to help the weeping time. Y'all see that that he's so dear to the weeping time, and that he wants the president to come down to the next weeping time. Well, you won't be here to help him. You will not be in office to help him. It'll be Keisha. It won't be you. That's for sure. And then he's talking about how he he's riding on the backs of, and these ancestors, these are his ancestors. Dude, you don't have no ancestors that was in the weeping time. because you came from somewhere else. I don't know where you came from. I think they just painted you black. You got to be from Canada or something. I don't know where the hell you from. But I mean,
Hollywood.
I'm guilty of. Go ahead, Brother Sean.
I said Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Hollywood. They did paint it. You're right. Yeah. But we got a whole lot of subjects, especially on crime and officer-involved shootings. Van having a personal bodyguard. No other mayor's ever did that. Why? You did something to somebody? Why you got to have a personal bodyguard?
Because he needs one.
She ain't gonna catch you. Gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, he got that bodyguard from New York.
Fairgrounds, we ain't got to that. Yeah. Rockingham, a task force. We're gonna cover all these subjects next time, and then hit on some of the ones that we briefly covered. But we didn't have enough time. We only got 4 minutes left, and we need to get this all on the record. And we also need to, if you need a copy of it, contact any of us. We will send you a copy. If you want to get on the email list for our Port City Review magazine and for Hello Savannah magazine, please let us know and send us your email. Contact me personally. I'll make sure you're on the list so that you can get it. The next issue comes out. Our Women's Month issue comes out in a couple of days. It'll be by the 15th. Jamal, you still missing two pieces. You need to get them to me tonight. I see you out partying and in the stores and everything else. You need to be behind a laptop, right? Anybody got any last words? We got 3 minutes.
Yeah, no. I want to read this information. Son, if you go to the last paragraph, read that. The last point about on the very last page. If not, I'll read it right quick because
this information is to help you make the right choice
as you consider the leadership of a great city. Savannah, your home. That's all. This for information was strictly to help you make the right choice. I did not endorse anyone. I do endorse Alethea Blakely, but not in this letter. I'm just saying the information was strictly to help you make a better choice when you choose to vote. And do your own research, please.
Anything else, anybody? We'll cover the rest of this next week. So it'll be next week with part 2. Y'all get ready. Anybody? I just had two people inbox me so that they can get it. So I'll be sending it to them. It came to me from this research that was done by Mr. Brown, and he did a hell of a job. And all you have to do is go and check it yourself. If anybody got a problem with it, call Mr. Brown. Anybody got a problem with anything else, and any of the pastors got a problem, call me or Bernard. We'll talk to you because we're gonna tell you.
We're gonna tell it like it is. We ain't gonna run behind a camera and run and say, "Hey, keep it real, Mr. Brown. You did a good job." And what I want to say, Mr. Brown, you did it, and you stand up, and you earned it, and you ain't ran for it. You know what I'm saying? You stayed in. You didn't pop in and out. At the end of the day, hey, I'm tired of being around fake people, and I love y'all. And good night.
The opinion of the rabble is solely the opinion of the rabble. I do not endorse the opinion of the rabble.
We understand that. You have the right. And again, let people do their own research. And when y'all go on the history tour with him, if you get the opportunity, make sure you check behind him because he'll tell you what you want to hear because you don't know what's in the background. People, beware of the person bringing the messes all the time to you. That's why I told you, do your own research.
I need y'all to start looking at that darn clock up there in that corner. That's what I need y'all to start doing. Look at the clock. You cannot go over the time. Y'all got to know when to be quiet. Y'all got to know that, hey, we got to cut it. I'll catch y'all later. Love y'all. Don't go nowhere. We'll be in the back studio in a second to finish this.
All right, y'all.